Hey, how's everybody doing, guys? Steven,
Marcus.
Cheryl, Matt,
Hi,
how we doing?
good.
Doing well.
Cheryl, I think you did what I did. I saw you pop in about an hour ago. I did the same thing, forgetting about the time zone.
I know, right? Oh,
I was
man.
rushing around for 11:30, and then I popped on, and no one was there, and I realized we had a time zone change.
That's funny.
Well, we did actually here in Arizona. That's what makes it a little weird.
Yeah.
So you're 2 hours different from East Coast, Mark?
2 now, as of Sunday for half the year.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, right.
I know. I wish we didn't have a time change.
It's a fun adjustment.
Indeed. I'm gonna I had Betsy say she was gonna be a little late. She was just getting out of an appointment. So before we get started, anybody have any pressing issues, any urgent pain points, anything like that? No, great. Matthew, you saw those California leads finally, right?
I did. Yeah, they came in. I've been dialing them for the last 2 days. No success, but I'll get a hold of somebody. I'll go through them, every day. So I got 50. So I went through 50 the other day, 50 again yesterday, email, voicemail, text on all of them. I had a couple not interested, but I'll get something on the books here.
Great. Triple dialing and all that good stuff.
So triple dialing.
Yeah. And in fact, I'll go over that a little bit today, but each number is for some of us in the beginning, it's a little challenging because you're like, whoa, I don't want to do that. But we triple dial every number on the lead before moving on to the next. And you're going to notice your contact ratio goes up quite a bit.
So in other words, if it goes to voicemail, dial it again.
Yep.
3 times.
Don't
Okay.
leave that voicemail. I usually, before I'll even think about leaving a voicemail, I'll usually triple dial the lead, right? I don't get him. I'll put it on the bottom. I'll do that again when it gets to the top of my pile. I'm talking analog if you use the dialer, same concept. And I'll do that up to 3 times a dial session. And if I don't get them yet, I'll maybe try that lead at a different time. Maybe I've got a dial session that's in the afternoon as opposed to the morning, because some people are just busy, won't answer. After about 9 or 12 dials, no contact, that's when I'd probably go to text, and then from there a voicemail or vice versa, if that helps.
So just to be clear in what I'm hearing you say, you will go through a list and go through it 3 times, or you will dial a number, it gets voicemail, immediately dial it again, immediately dial it again 3 times. Which one?
Yep, say the latter. So I'm going to call Matt Grimmer's on my sheet. I'm going to dial your cell. I'm going to dial your work. No, I'm going to dial your cell 3 times. I'm going to dial your work 3 times.
Got it.
Then I'm going to leave you alone. I'll put you on the bottom of the pile. And by the time you get to the top of the pile again, especially with these older leads, a good amount of time has passed. So you're not just hammering them.
Got it.
Surprisingly, or rather counterintuitively, you're not going to get much flack for that. People are kind of used to it. And by that 3rd time, they're like, who is this?
Okay.
Once in a great while, you'll get the, what the hell are you calling me for? 3 times in a row. I mean, really once in a great while. And at that point I say, hey, I'll go right into the thing and say that the reason I'm calling is I'm the case manager assigned to you. And, for the most part, this is personal information. I'd rather reach you in person than leave a voicemail. And right there, you kind of have their attention because they're like, personal, private, what's this about, And it's a nice, respectful way to kind of cool the engines if you get somebody a little annoyed at that.
Okay.
So guys, with the time zone change, again, this is my meeting and I logged in an hour early. So who knows what the and Cheryl did too about 45 minutes ago. So who knows what the turnout's going to be today. I'm gonna dive right into some stuff. But as Brian Hamby always says, we can make a difference in 1 person's business, life, day, career, then and mission accomplished. And I hope it's many more than that today.
Yes. Yes.
I'd love to introduce you guys to Richard. Last name, please. You can voice it or type it. I just want to make sure I know who we're talking to. And welcome, by the way.
Weeks.
Excellent. Richard Weeks. No face, no last name, so you never know. Especially the way our team's growing. Richard, great to see you, man.
Thanks.
So, or at least hear you. So Richard Weeks and Maurice Flynn are two of our newest agents.
Welcome.
Richard, you're direct to Betsy, correct?
Correct.
And Maurice is direct to me through a recruiting program we have for advanced markets. So I'm just thrilled to welcome them. And guys,
hey Mark, I've got to give some props to Richard. We met last week for him to do a mock DFL presentation, and I was like, "Are you sure you have not done this before?" He did a really, really great job. So
awesome! Welcome, Richard.
He's going to do his,
thank you,
certification with Mike tomorrow. So looking forward to him hopping on the DFL train with us.
That is awesome.
Yeah, tomorrow at 1. So I'm nervous and excited.
That's the best way to be, right? If you're not nervous is rare. I won't say there's anything wrong with it. Not nervous is great, but you've got every reason to be cautiously optimistic, if you will. But let the excited override the nervous, and you're going to be just fine. Especially with Betsy watching over you. She's a pro.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Maurice, just so Mo, right?
Yep.
All right, great. I mean, I know your emails, Mo. I call you Mo. I just want to make sure that's great for the gander. Mo is getting trained specifically in index universal life and solving tax-free retirement issues for families of business owners. And he's also tuning into this meeting because a lot of the agents on the advanced market side in the spare time are like, hey, I'd like to know more about the LEAP program and helping people with term and final expense and mortgage protection and debt-free life. Maurice is a program that Betsy is an expert in at this point. She's helped families and churches and businesses save millions of dollars, very similar to what you're doing in the advanced market realm with IULs. And you'll get a feel for kind of what that looks like as we move forward. But it's a special program that you can get certified for with us here at Symmetries.
Yeah, I was actually going to say, just hop in. Sorry, Mark, I keep jumping in, but I just got off a call with Mike Resma, and I definitely want to tell you some about that. But we're trying to put some stuff together for more like infinite banking concepts that might fall well with what you're looking at, Maurice. So we should definitely connect.
That's fantastic. You guys really should. Thanks for doing that, Betsy. If you want to put your email and phone number in the chat, Mo, you can grab that. I'd love for you guys to just kind of, and vice versa, Mo, if you'll put yours in there, then Betsy, maybe you can reach out to Mo. And would love to see what you guys are able to work out there. That'd be great. So today, guys, I want to give a shout out. He's not here yet. I think he's actually might be in an appointment. Andrew Skinner is a new agent on our team, ripe old age of 22. He was, I really want to highlight him today because it's a testament to building. You know, I'm not sure how many of you have started building. By all means, we're going to be getting into that in some of the meetings. And I am going to keep these, I'm going to do my best to keep all of our meetings right around 30 minutes, guys. So, so that you can put this stuff to work. But when it comes to, you know, building, you're going to realize, you know, this position isn't for everybody. And it's not even often for the people that sound like the best candidates, right? And if you're building just the same, you'll learn very quickly that there's a difference between high challenge, high support, and straight up babysitting. And what I love about Andrew Skinner, he is almost an anomaly. You know, he came in unlicensed, so he hurried up, took his test. There's Eric. Eric is actually Andrew's mentor. So Eric, I'm just highlighting Andrew Skinner today because he's just been a prime example of, hey, you know, get messy, get dirty, be nervous, be awkward, but just get it done, because you will fail forward if you have a high level of activity. And why I'm highlighting Andrew is, again, kid's 22. I think he's got a background as a missionary, doing mission work and some things like that. So he's no stranger to knocking on doors. And Andrew came in here, like, once he got his license, Eric said, okay, we're going to put you through training, and, you know, it'll take a couple of days to get, you know, contracted with Symmetry, right? We all know there's a little bit of a window there. Well, Andrew got done with training in a day's time and said, I want to dial. We said, we can't dial yet. We got to get you your contracting. He said, well, is there any way I can dial, right? He persisted. So of course there is. Eric gave him a stack of old 50-cent leads from Michigan. Now Andrew's in New York. So Andrew said, well, that's okay. I'll get my non-resident in Michigan. I'm just going to dial. He got his non-resident. The next day was dialing. I think he set 3 appointments on these old 50-cent leads. And next day he had an appointment, still didn't have his contracting. So I gave him my Mutual of Omaha logins, and that's how I wrote business last week. The truth be told, it wasn't me, it was Andrew Skinner. So just really proud of that proactiveness. And I'm not saying everybody's going to have that kind of success right off the bat, right? Hey, Dominic, how's it going, bud?
Hey, Mark, pretty good. How are you?
Pretty good. I see you're on the road, so drive safe. I wasn't trying to be overly persistent there. I just know you wanted to know, you know, what our agenda was today. So I wanted you to know what we were doing.
No, you're fine. I'm glad that I remembered. It slipped my mind because of what I'm doing right now. Sorry about that.
No, please do what you need to do. Like I said, I love Chris Cook. He says, take what you want and leave what you don't, right? I'm never going to force anybody to go to any meetings or do anything you don't want to do. I just want to make sure you get out of this what you want. And a lot of times there is some value packed into these things. Try to get a little something in there for everybody. So anyway, kudos to Andrew. Again, knowing him, he may just be in the appointment. I also wanted you guys to know, as Angie's popping in here, that it reminded me, you know, if you like, we're growing so fast. You know, we've got a leg like Joe Martinez, who's got a leg like, you know, Jeffrey Miller, who just became agency owner, and his agent, Brian Howell, is now qualified for month 1 of AO. So that leg's just exploding. And we decided, for the benefit of, you know, of everybody, they have their meetings. And then this is more of a Newbauer Agency meeting for our Baseshop. Okay. But you guys, we're all in the same team. We're all in the same family. Joe moved those to, let me see real quick, because I know, for instance, Angie. Oh yeah, what is it, Angie? Oh, I got it right here. So I'm going to put it in here. If anybody wants to go to the Martinez, Miller, Howell meetings, they are going to be putting a heavier focus on production. And I know that's going to be really great for newbies, right? So feel free to get in there. I just put that in there. I'm not going to remind you about this every week. And in fact, we've just got such an influx of new agents that the reason I'm sending out so many reminders on this meeting is so that we just get into some habits. But again, I'm into working with motivated people and pointing you in the right direction. I'm not here to, you know, to make a horse drink the water, right? Just to lead. I'm not calling anybody a horse there, but they're beautiful animals. So you've got the Miller, Martinez, Howell information right there in the chat. That's every Friday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. And if you're in Arizona, times will vary throughout the year because of this weird time zone stuff. So, all right, guys, basics. And Eric, I know you have some guys in the field right now that are brand new. Matthew, Richard, you guys are relatively new. And Dominic, I know you're bringing some people out. And Mo, again, is becoming an expert in the advanced market side of things. And what I'll be talking about today is just get you guys back to the basics and make you aware of some of the resources that we have that they touched on yesterday's call, okay? First and foremost, we got to be honest with ourselves when it comes to our our diligence and our level of activity, right? The main reason that people fail at Symmetry, or do not succeed at Symmetry rather, is a lack of self-management. Truly, it's lack of activity. Activity will beat skill any day of the week, right? It just will. So if you're so blessed to come in here with skill, maybe you just weren't happy with the old shop and you came over here and you're just ready to write. Okay, great. That doesn't happen very often, but it does. But most people are coming here looking for a change, loving the idea of owning a business, loving the idea of time, work-life balance. Thank you. Not trading money for time or time for money. So, and that is the prize, if you will. But to get there, we got to get out the pickaxe and start chopping down the coal. I mean, in the beginning, for many of us, it's a big change because we're not clocking in and clocking out. No one's going to smack you on the wrist if you miss this meeting, right? And nobody can force you to pick up that heavy phone sometimes in the beginning and make you dial. And if you leave that to your wits each and every day, you're never going to, right? Your caveman mind is going to protect you, and your monkey mind is going to find all kind of busy work that's really not useful to keep you from doing those income producing activities, which are the heart of our position. So I'm going to just dig through a few resources. If you guys were on the builders call yesterday, I hope you had a chance to be. It was pretty amazing. But if you weren't, catch the recording on the Quility website under training and events. But I'm going to share my screen here for a minute because I just love this thing that Istanbul, right? Put up yesterday. I hope I got that right. You guys can see this, right? So
Cater Istanbuli.
Thank you, Devo. That was
Really
great.
nice.
Thank you. I just that was a train wreck, wasn't it? All right, you did it much better than me. So I really love the value he brought last week and now again this week. I mean, they're doing a little bit of a series on those builders calls. So again, if you haven't had the pleasure, get on Quility training. I believe it's meetings and events or calls and webinars, and you'll see the call there. We also have it on the Newbauer Agency YouTube channel now, so you can go to YouTube, type in the Newbauer Agency, and we always put all the calls up there too. So yeah, for now that Quilly is getting all corporate and an IPO and all that, we might have to lock it up and make it for private view only, but for now it's there. But I'd love you guys to see this calendar. It's everybody's got different schedules, and I could show you a Google Calendar. Elijah's done that several times, and I know some of that can be foreign to us. Those of us that may have struggle with time management and self-discipline, right? That really is the number one reason that people don't get over that hump that we all have to face when it comes to the high level of activity it requires to succeed here when working the lead system. And what I love about this little infograph or visual calendar is it just plainly puts out how simply, again, I will never say easy because that's up to you, but how simply you can schedule your day and really maximize the time that you've got and gear your calendar toward income producing activity, right? Because that is the name of the game and everything else is just fill in the blanks. So real quick, again, you went over it yesterday, but I want you guys, feel free to take a snapshot of this. I'm kind of surprised they don't let you upload files to the Zoom chat. And if they do, somebody tell me. I don't know that you can. But I managed to grab a screenshot of it because I thought it was so valuable. But if you look at this, guys, I would like, especially leaders, promote this to your newbies, right? Because this is, I notice even our leaders that brought us in and the leaders before them, this is kind of the thing that you bring up, 2-3 months later after someone's like, no, I'm still struggling and I got leads and I got this. And ultimately at the end of the day, it usually comes right down to this. Do you have a calendar and is it non-negotiable? And you can see that he scheduled his family time in here too. That's great. You're a golfer. Maybe you go to the beach. Maybe you got a thing that you got to do. That's fine. Schedule it. Schedule that too, so that you can schedule your activity around it. Now, I will be sending this in an email to the team, or did I? I might have actually as a prep. No. So I'll send you guys this just so you have it. I want you to have it. I want it to be something that you can use as a template to get on that Google Calendar or whatever it is you use and truly schedule out your week. This is a business, and businesses require attention. And in order to give it, intentionality, you've got to schedule things, and you've got to schedule everything. So really recognize how important that is to your business, because we are growing a business here. You don't have a job. You're not going to get fired, right? You're not going to get suspended. There's no pink sheets, but you may slowly go broke if you don't honor the commitment that you've made to yourself and your why, and saying, you know what? I'm going to do something different. I'm going to take advantage of the gig economy, and I'm going to build an empire out of it. Fantastic. Here's your schedule. If you have any questions about this, let me know. So that's resource number one. There's nothing more important than scheduling your activity. And what do you schedule? I'll bring it up again. Everything. That's right, Cheryl. Thank you for that. If you look at this, we've got a really strong focus on self-improvement here. Symmetry's changed my life, and it wasn't about, writing policies. It wasn't about making more money. And in fact, making more money came as a result of my self-improvement. My reading the book of the month, my meditation. I listen to affirmations every morning, every night. There's a book by Hal Elrod, if you haven't read it yet, called The Miracle Morning. If you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I don't even know. What would I do in the morning? What's self-improvement? Well, why don't you check out Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod, and you'll have a nice template for that. So you do your self-improvement. This guy likes to do his risk assessment admin for about an hour, hour and a half. This is when you're checking on policies. Maybe an agent had a question you need to get to. This is all that kind of admin stuff. But then, it's 8:59. I better get ready, right? He's dialing from 9 to 11, non-negotiable, not 9 to 9:15. And my husband said I have to do the dishes, or my wife says I need to fold the laundry. Too bad, you're working, right? And again, respectfully, you need to honor your partnership, but in that, both of you should be working together to honor the fact that this is what it's going to take to build a business. And then he goes right into interviews. So straight from dialing, sets appointments for over here. You can see now how this all correlates, right? So he's dialing here, setting appointments for later in the day. And in between, he's got time for meetings like this or national call. He's recruiting, doing interviews. And then second interviews. I usually do not do a second interview, by the way, but between the two of these on my calendar, it's going to take up the same amount of time. And then there's his appointments and spending time with family. And you can see these free floating. These are pretty important, especially if you're a builder. Social media posts, keep yourself out there. Network with sidelines and SFG. I mean, Betsy and I, Steve and I, Dominic and I, Eric and I, we're texting all day long back and forth as leaders and helping each other out with different things. And of course, all of us are interchangeably in contact as well. And this is the part I think many people kind of skimp over. Go on Quility U and start learning about what's available here, right? There are so many resources that it's nearly inefficient for us to just mention them all. This is all about you and your free floating time, your spare time, just saying, I'm going to go learn something new about this industry, about these products, about these carriers, about my team, about anything that will help your business go to the next level, right? So that's very important. So I'm stopping that. I'm going to show you a few more things, guys. So name of the game today, before I open this up to some quick questions. Great, Mo and Betsy, you've got your stuff. I want to point you to another couple resources. So share my screen. See the nightmare, which is my Gmail. All right. Where is It's not a nightmare, guys. I'm grateful. But it's pretty stacked. I wake up to like 50 emails. All right, so where are we going? Quility. So guys, inside of Quility, right? You guys all know you've got access to hq.quility.com. Every one of you got a login email. Welcome from the company. You go to training, click on that, go to Quility U. I'm going to go to Quility U. So I'm already there over here. But just to show you what that looks like. So we're going to load up Quility U. All of you have been here for training if you went through training. If you haven't, Mo, Richard, I'm not sure since you guys are more in advanced markets, but to really get a feel for everything that's going on, everything that's possible, where's the resources, all that, you go to the training center and you put yourself through Quility U. But something we've all got access to regardless, if you get to this page, training center, start training, great, but scroll down, there's a file vault. Again, they touched on a little bit of this yesterday, and we learned this at Agency Owner Academy a couple of months ago, and I was blown away by the fact that, wow, they just keep everything right here. So, wait, that's the file vault. Oh, right. So in the file vault, you're going to see a couple different things for our team. You're only going to see one file in the Cook Agency. That's our hierarchy, right? But they will be filling this with, for instance, sneak preview. Elijah and Jordan just did a mock in-home presentation. Elijah Carujo and the Gillums on video, and that's going to be posted here. So you can now watch a mock appointment from some of our team members, things like that. All kinds of resources here, guys, but I'm going to take you to Fast Track, which is the course, but there's files here, right? So if I click on this file vault, a couple of things I want to show you. You can see there's a ton of stuff in here, right? First thing I want to show you are 4 cornerstones of success. I'd love for you guys to download these when you get here. Where am I? Here we go. So again, I'm doing this because we got a handful of newer people on here and some people that have cleared the path and said, I'm going to go for this all the way. So I want you to start out on the right foot.
This is amazing, Mark. This is amazing.
Oh, thank you, Betsy. I hope so. Like I said, on my huddle Tuesday, I never know if the porridge is too hot or too cold because we're all at different stages in the business, right? So some weeks I might hit something that's over the top for beginners, and some things I might hit that are elementary for the leaders. But in essence, nothing should be elementary as a leader because this is stuff that we should be always putting in front of our people and making sure that everyone understands just the wealth of resources that we have at our fingertips, right? So
so this is, and this is all in one spot. You can just come and find it. So, that's wonderful.
Yeah, look at that, right? It's right there.
I remember when I came in and I was like, where do I find everything?
I know.
I'm glad you said that because I pulled it up and realized you guys aren't even looking at it yet. So,
right.
4 cornerstones, right?
Yeah.
Believe in yourself, in what you're doing. If you don't have a policy on yourself yet, get one. A, it's going to help you get through the EAP process and see what that's like. You're going to get comfortable with it. But B, you don't want to work with somebody who doesn't own what they're selling, right? It kind of puts a big dent in the relationship from the get-go, because why are they offering something that they don't even have for their own family? So that's pretty elementary. And belief in the system, guys. We have so many amazing people that come here, and Steve-O and I did a few things on our own when we came here. It's natural, especially as entrepreneurs, to want to innovate, right? And say, well, but if you did this, or, I think this could be better. I wish they would do that. You know what? Everything that Steve and I, in the beginning, I always mention Steve and I because we started the very same day 5.5 years ago, and we've been on this journey together ever since. Steve and I go way back, at least 10, 12 years, right? High school. So, all right, fine. 30 some years I've known Steve. Late night poker games, college parties, life, ex-girlfriends, everything, right? So, But the great thing is to believe in the system and don't try to reinvent the wheel. Everything that we wish for in the beginning, it almost seemed within months, Symmetry was already developing. Like these guys are innovative thinkers. They're always working to improve the system, but don't try to fast forward that. What we had when we started was a stack of leads and a printer and our cars. That's it. And a couple meetings a week. We didn't have any of this stuff, and we had enough to get by. So everybody does at present tense have everything you need and then some, and really embrace that system. See that it works if you plug into it, and that's going to help you focus on those income producing activities, as opposed to spending 2-3 hours reinventing the wheel. 2-3 hours of dials is going to give you a couple of appointments, even on the older lead, the really older leads, right? And again, Matthew, results will vary, but it all comes with that high activity. And on a 3-week average, so long as you're putting in that activity, the metrics will play out in your favor. Commitment to ongoing self-improvement. I'm talking these kinds of meetings, book of the month, podcasts, everything. Take 100% responsibility to your life, right? Life happens to everybody, but you do not need to be a victim of your circumstances. We all have circumstances. We all have our crosses to bear. Everybody has challenges, speed bumps, and any one of us could make a list of excuses each and every day as to why we're not here yet, or why we haven't done this, or why that didn't happen. That's us letting life take control of us, right? We got to take control of life. And if you do that proactively and focus on self-improvement, you will start to notice how you can then master the day as opposed to the day mastering you. This is no, it's not the most important, right? They're 4 cornerstones. But when it comes to income producing activities, you've got to do this. You've got to do the massive action, constant correction. This business will take 10 times more activity than you think it will in the beginning, most likely, right? You may be an anomaly, that's okay, but don't consider yourself one until you realize you are one. Until then, you must massive action, constant correction. And that all, if you create that schedule and abide by it, and take the time out tonight, for instance, write this down, guys. I'm talking fast because I want to be respectful of your time. But every night, write out I don't know if you can see me. Am I holding that up to nothing? Do you guys see me and the screen? No, great. Well, there's my list. So anyway, every night I want you to write out the 6 priorities for the next day. 6 things that not that you need to get done, not that you're going to try to get done. That's weak language. And while you're doing this, by the way, be cognizant of weak language in your life. I have it quite a bit myself. Sometimes I say, well, I just this or that. You don't just anything. You just do, right? I do or I don't. I will or I won't. I can or I can't. It's not I might or I'll try or I need to, because when you say I'll try or I need to, which are the 2 most common weak language words, it's really a foregone conclusion. You're telling your mind to make sure that you're always putting that out in the future. I need to means down the road. I'm going to try to means I might, right? So erase that out of your vocabulary. I'm going to, I will, I can, right? And then associate with the right people. This is huge. We're doing it right now, right? We're on with a team of winners right here. The national calls are a great way to do that. I'm not going to go into so many examples, but you are the 5 people that you hang around most, right? We've heard that several times, and it's no joke. Best way to do this inside of Symmetry, go to the live events. What's the most important live event in Symmetry right now?
National conference.
The conference.
Denver, Denver.
Go Denver.
And that's right, go Denver. And I'm not calling anybody out, but I know for a fact that not everybody on this call is registered for conference yet or have your hotel. Please talk to me about that if there's some reason that's stopping you. They will break the ticket up into 3 payments. Guess what? This guy has a couple owners packs. So if you got some extenuating circumstances, but you just want to reserve your place, I can bank that for you. I don't mind financing that out, but you got to let me know. And that's what I've always been saying is talk to your uplines, talk to your leaders. I'll help you out there. the hotel, book it. They're not going to charge you until February. So if you're going to be putting in this high activity, you're going to have plenty of time to get that taken care of. And guys, I know I said 30 minutes. Well, what am I talking about? I'm going to be working on agenda and we'll work these faster, but I really want to show you some of these basics. So that's the 4 cornerstones. Hey, look at that. There's an app. That's actually Andrew Skinner's app that he wrote with my account. Pro tips, cheat sheets. These are on here too. So I got to switch between, well, again, I'll just, fine, I'll share my whole desktop there. Good luck with that. All right, so you can see in Quility, the other things that I want to point out, the activity report. If you're brand new and you're working leads, this is the most important tool that you can have as a business owner, because you are running a business when you decide to work here. And if you're working with inventory, I don't care if you're selling, bread or snow tires or life insurance, these leads, these families that we're reaching out to help are your inventory. And these metrics are very important in regards to, is my inventory, am I getting it in front of enough people? Do I have enough inventory? What do I need to do? And right here, you'll notice are the lead metrics. So thankfully they've done this recently. The lead metrics are right here on your activity report. So you shouldn't have to ask your upline, well, what leads do this and what leads do that? The A, it's in the handbook, and B, the metrics are right here on your activity sheet. So always try to find the answer yourself and then be proactive and seek counsel with your leader if you're either A, not sure, or just B, absolutely can't find it. But right there, those lead metrics, they are improving that. As we all know, they announced in the national call, they are laser focused on ensuring that every lead has metrics built in with a 4-to-1 return on investment. So that's pretty great. But what you do here, guys, is you put your dials here, you put your contacts. You can even do it electronically. So Steve and I, again, we had a piece of paper we printed out and we did tick marks, but you can put dials, contacts, appointments booked. Now look, I know if I have 100 dials or 1,000 dials and 0 contacts, and that means 0 appointments booked, what does this scenario mean? This probably means that either A, I don't have enough inventory, I'm just calling the same leads over and over again, or B, maybe I need to dial some of my leads at different times of the day, or C, as we were discussing in the beginning of the call, am I triple dialing the leads? Because everybody's getting telemarketers, everybody's getting robocalls. Symmetry's starting to get more and more influx with texting when you don't reach people after a certain period of time. But for now, the staple is triple dialing those leads. And you'll be surprised at how much that improves your contact ratio. Then maybe you've got, maybe you did 150 dials. And let's see these. Let's say you're working A3 leads. That's 1 appointment for every 6 to 7 contacts. So let's say you're doing, here's Mark's math. Let's say you contacted, not that many, right? Let's say you contacted 21 people. You're working A3 leads. And let's say you only booked 2 appointments. Okay. And great job. You booked 2 appointments. So don't take that as a negative. But if you look at the stats here, I contacted 21 people, I got 2. Let me see, the A3 lead says I should have 1 appointment for every 6 to 7 contacts. So you're just outside the metrics here. I'm going to call this 24 so we can say if you were within the metrics, you should most likely have 3 to 4 appointments here, right? Mm-hmm. That's the math on that. Now, again, you might have 3, you might have 5, and here and there you might have 2. But on a 3-week average, these metrics play out like clockwork. You would have about 4 on an A3 lead, right? 3 or 4 of these. Yep. So if you only have 1 or 2, guess what? You're going to call Betsy, you're going to call Steve, you're going to call me, you're going to call your direct. Every 5 contacts that you don't have an appointment, and you're going to say, hey, or we say every 5 contacts, but really it's in line with the leads. If you're working they don't even exist anymore, the 50 cent. If you're calling A1 leads and you've made 5 contacts and no appointments, that's okay. You're within the metrics. But if you've made 10 contacts, no appointments, please call me. Please call your upline and say, hey, I'm working A5s. I've made 12 contacts, but I don't have any appointments. Here's the objections I'm getting, right? And go over those. And to that note, and that's within the metrics, but if you're just starting out, I still like to stick to call your upline every 5 contacts. And don't you dare think that you're bothering anybody, because that's our job. So every 5 contacts, you count with no appointment set, you counsel with your upline and say, hey, I've talked to 5 people. Here's the objections I've got. What could I be improving on? And we'll help you. Okay. So you can see how this really helps you determine your metrics, where you're at. And of course, it's really great for posterity's sake. I mean, when you look at this thing, 3 months from now and see how things have improved, how that show to new agents. Your struggle is later, your story. No, I don't want to save that. A couple other quick things I wanted to show you guys that I just love. And guys, this is all on that file vault. First and foremost, I know you guys, I hope you guys are getting sick of me saying this, because that means I've said it enough. There's not a more important thing that you could be doing than role and purpose when you're starting your appointment in the home. It's called managed expectations. I've been a business owner for a good couple decades now, and I can tell you there's a vast difference in your trajectory to success when using managed expectations versus just diving right into things, right? We know what we're talking about. We have an idea what we're talking about, but the people we're meeting with have no clue. They just think we're salespeople, and that's that. What do you got for me? When you go through role and purpose, and again, I want you guys, if you haven't already, again, it just means I'm not saying it enough, but where's the chat? Can I chat? Yeah, here we go. Cecily, and Ayers, Newsom, role and purpose. Look up that title on SoundCloud, either your app or the website. Save it to your phone. Get out this sheet right here. And I want you to write your own version of role and purpose. It's 5 easy steps that will remove 80 to 90% of the think about it, any confusion. It's going to get them, aligned with you as a human being as opposed to just some salesperson. And it's going to remind them at the beginning of the appointment that here's the takeaway. You may not even need this. If that's the case, I'm out of here. If you do, most people I meet with find they need less than they think they do. And it's usually a lot cheaper than they think it is. So again, if there's no need, I find this a luxury, not a necessity, I'm on my way. But if there is something that we decide is a need, great. I can shop around for you. The last thing is up to you. Your budget, you pick out the program, you choose your budget, and then we submit the application today to make sure that you're going to get approved, right? That's it. Now, if you say all that in the beginning, you have most of the objections out of the way. If you don't, again, results may vary. So, pro tips. This is also in that file vault that I just showed you. It's going to tell you what to do before you dial, how to dial, 3-hour increments, triple dial each number, right? And Matthew, I'm so glad that thank you, by the way, for being so proactive at the beginning of the call and for being vulnerable and sharing your experience, because we as leaders, we know that you don't know what you don't know, but we don't know what you don't know, if that makes any sense. At the end of the day, what I'm trying to say is you got to speak up and let us know where you're at, right? We're always going to reach out as much as we can, but it is up to you to seek counsel at each and every point that you get that freeze up, right? That you get that feeling of, wait, I'm a little confused, I'm a little stuck, or God forbid, I'm a little scared, I'm a little embarrassed. I don't know if this is for me. Great, call us. Because most likely you just haven't been privy to some of these basics. And because once you're privy to all this, it's truly, guys, the nature of our business in the beginning is just this, right? And getting comfortable with this. Can you guys see me? I keep doing that. I'm picking up the phone and I'm looking at a piece of paper, okay? That's the nature of the job in the beginning. And then I love this one. I'm not going to go through this whole thing. I want you guys to do that. That's your homework. Pro tips cheat sheet. If you're not writing these down, please do. That's why I'm showing them to you. And I showed you where they are, right? They're right here in the file vault on Quality U. Talk leaders, please, especially you, because you may have agents coming and asking you. And I want each and every one of us, Dominic, Betsy, Steve, Eric, to go through this stuff with your agents. Show them where it is. You don't need to walk them, through 1,000 times. Everyone is responsible for their own homework, but they got to know where it is first and foremost if you're the teacher. So the one thing I love here, guys, a lot of people don't think like a doctor. And I don't mean recklessly sell prescription drugs. Just kidding. What I mean is you're the licensed professional. You know more than 90% of America about life insurance, even if you're brand new, just for having passed that exam. Be proud of that. Embrace that. And when you're scheduling, you're the authority. Always be busy, right? So you don't just say, hey, what time are you guys available? Hey, when is most convenient when is the time that both of you are going to be available? Afternoons or evenings? Once they answer evenings, okay, let me look at my calendar. I've got hold on here. Looks like I got a 5:50. I may have nothing, right, guys? But I'm thinking and I'm looking, quote unquote, at my calendar because I'm busy. I got a 5:15 and a 6:45. Which of those works best for you, Steve? Right? Thank you. So that's pro tips. I love pro tips. Another one. Guys, this thing's just incredible. They've got quality questions for the phone and quality questions for the home. So quality questions for in any scenario are who, where, what, how, when, why. Why do you guys think that is?
Open-ended.
Get them talking, and then you can use their words and their ideas and their reasons to get them covered. You don't have to use your words, you use their words.
Yep.
What answer will you most likely get with a closed-ended question?
Yes or no.
There you go, Cheryl. Exactly. And then you're just stuck, right? Yep. Hey, do you guys want life insurance? No. Okay. What were you thinking when you filled out that form?
Right.
Yes or no, right? They can, but it won't make much sense. So Here's some quality questions for the phone. Look at this thing. Can you stop? Anyway, don't mind the blue. Quality questions for the phone. What was your main concern when you filled out the response? What happened? Too expensive? Someone rude to you? So when they say we already talked to somebody, right? Mm-hmm. What type of coverage did you get? Basic or comprehensive? Well, I don't know. Great. Now you can go in there. Who will be making the mortgage payments when you die?
My wife.
I really thought of that, right?
Yeah. Right.
And what are you paying each month? Guys, and Andrew and I, Eric, went over this a good number of times. This is so important, guys, because the majority of business we're going to do here is critical period. And what critical period, mortgage payment protection, we'll cover more about this, but what it is it's covering a number of mortgage payments as opposed to the whole thing. And if you don't know what they're paying each month, you don't know how to design a case for critical period. And again, if you don't know critical period, mortgage payment protection, I just posted an entire folder on Band after my Huddle Tuesday. So scroll back in Band Tuesday morning. I've got a treasure chest of training on critical period, which will be the majority of your business for mortgage protection.
Mark, I'm sorry to interrupt. What was the title of this section? Open-ended versus closed. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And that's on here. You're going to see it titled Quality Questions.
Okay.
And Quality Questions for Mortgage Protection Sales.
Awesome. Thank you.
That is the pro tips. And you guys can access any of these, but 4 cornerstones of success. The activity report everybody should have if you're working leads. And then like I said, anything and everything else that you want to look at, you're more than welcome. But those I found to be the most valuable. And on page 2 is the role and purpose outline.
Okay. Yeah, that's a trove right there.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing.
Awesome.
And because guys, what I want, once we start getting you with your flow and you start hiring, and Betsy, Dominic, Steve, and Eric, we're going to start going through this stuff. I'm studying up on the agent coaching guide, which is designed to take us through a program together and ramp you guys up towards agency owner and key leader. This is on here, so you're more than welcome to download it and see what's ahead. But this is really the tool for taking you to the next level. Last one I want to show you, same thing, but for in the home, right? If I ask is, do, can, does, did, will, I'm going to get yes or no, and maybe the old folded arms, right? But who, what, when, where, how, and why are going to lead to thoughtful answers, right? And they've got them for couples, and they've got them for single people. Equip yourself with this. The great Anthony Robbins, the quality of our questions determines the quality of our lives. So really, even in everyday life, challenge with your partner, with your kids. Guys, this improves relationships everywhere, okay? So, did you have a great day at school? No. Oops, right? Hey, how was school today? Fine. Why was it fine, right? You can dig with these questions.
Yeah.
Who impacted you the most today? What did you guys learn in physics class today, right? Same thing within the home. So try this with your husband, wife, domestic partner, right? These are great ways to really cultivate real conversation. So I think that's all I wanted to cover today on some basics.
Well, that's pretty darn good, Mark. Got a lot of bang for our buck.
Well, I hope so, guys. Again, I know I just fire hosed you, but I wanted to give you as much as I could so that you can then in your own time, outside of that all important schedule, right? Where is that? I just have to, where is it? Have to pull it up again. This thing. Yep. 9 times out of 10, if I'm talking to an agent that's struggling in the beginning, they think at first the leads aren't working. These people they're not answering. I put so much money in this week. Okay, what kind of time did you put in? Right, big difference. That money. What do we say? We buy leads or we invest in leads. If you're not going to work them, you're buying leads, and you're hurting families. That's the part that gets me the most. Because Steve and I for sure have gotten this. Dominic, I'm pretty sure you have. When you call the family, and those that have been here all the time have heard me say this plenty, but those that are new haven't. You call a family, hey, is Harold there? Crickets, or even crying. Is everything okay? Is Harold there? Harold passed away about a month ago. We filled this thing out 6 months ago and nobody called us.
Yep.
So that's why I get very upset when I hear new agents or any agents making excuses about leads, when in fact, if they're looking at these sheets that we just went over, you can easily recognize whether or not you're putting in the right amount of activity and whether or not the contacts you are making are effective. Because if they're not, do you sit and cry, or do you call your upline every 5 contacts? Shelly is one of the best at being a proactive agent, saying, hey, I'm stuck here. I want to learn this. What do I need to say here? What do I need to do here? How can I do this better? And she is just, I want to say Johnny on the spot. I'll just say Shelly on the spot, because she's so intentional about her work here and is working diligently to improve each and every day, and has done so, and it shows each and every week. And if everybody could just be like Shelly in terms of, hey, I called 5 people and I keep hearing this, what would you do here? Or, hey, you mentioned that thing on the call the other day, where do I find that again? I don't care if I said it 9 times. I'm thrilled that Shelly's asking me that, because that means Shelly's paying attention and wanting to improve. So really, guys, take ownership in your business and know that you've got an entire ship full of mentors that are dying to help you if you just ask. So, guys, any questions, pain points, anything that leaders want to say that you didn't get a chance to say? And I suppose we'll plan on these meetings being about an hour, but I'll do my best to keep them between 30, 45 minutes. With so many new people coming on, I am recording this. I will send it to the email, but I'm not going to be doing that on a regular basis unless somebody requests it. I'll be recording it. And if you miss it, please request it. I'm not judging here, but I do want to encourage leaders. We've all got agents. I would love for you to please encourage your team to be on these meetings if you see value in what we did today, and if you feel what we showed today could really expedite their growth. Because if we're not being proactive as leaders, and that doesn't mean babysit, you shouldn't have to tell them every week, but it won't hurt for you to have your agents on a group text and say, hey, I'm hopping on the Newbauer call if you want to join. Great. Free country if you don't, okay? But I'm hoping that you guys see the value in these. And if not, great. It'll just be me and Steve on here talking about high school. We'll be on here every week. So, guys, any questions, pain points, anything that you want to bring up?
Is there any?
Go ahead.
Oops, sorry. Is there any chance that you will have kind of a ish forecast for what you're going to be covering, so that for someone that is trying to recruit and sell and somewhere I'm going to have to start picking what I'm involved in, unless I'm sorry, I do have this in my schedule now on repeat. I mean, I now will know, but I had an interview and a sit scheduled during this.
I love it. Eric, if you attended every meeting that we had at Symmetry, you would never, you would just die of starvation, right? You'd never get anything done. So
right.
I love that you brought that up, because we are all busy. We're all running businesses. I mean, Mo has a whole nother agenda with the Index Universal Life. He's probably like, when am I going to work? But that's why you pick and choose. And to answer your question, Eric, I'm just as any of us are. I'm also working on my growth, my leadership. Yes, I am working toward providing an agenda on these meetings, and I will expedite my path there. I can't promise it's going to happen for next week. Oh, in fact, next week is the holiday. Happy holidays. No Newbauer meeting next week, unless you guys want to see me something.
No, it's 2 weeks.
No, it's 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks.
Oh, come on.
You're freaking.
I'm so excited. All right,
I'll talk some DFL stuff next week. I got some exciting things to share.
I'll be real honest with you. If there ever was kind of a small group of DFL, because I'm certified, I've not been chasing it. I just need to make some damn money in mortgage protection before I get distracted. But after I do that, I'm going to be interested in getting some slow education about DFL so I can start at least taking baby steps in that direction.
Eric, I'll send you a message. I'll let you know how about that. But I can help out with that.
So I guess
we do.
We're going to give Betsy the floor next week, and I will be here because it's not Thanksgiving. Betsy's going to give us a nice little primer on debt-free life. And what's great about Betsy talking DFL is it's not necessarily something that every one of you is going to get certified in. Me, Steve, and Eric are certified in it, but I'll tell you, for me and my bandwidth, it's more than I ever want to deal with. I've referred cases to Betsy that I could very well do myself if I took the time to gain the level of expertise that she has. I want to do what's right for my clients. I know that debt-free life works. I know how amazing it is. So just the same as an agent, I can tell a client what it is in a nutshell. It takes me 15 seconds. pass it on to Betsy. And what's your commission split, Betsy?
Just like QMS, 40 to you, 60 to me.
So Betsy will do all the work, and that pays for her marketing and her funnels and trainings and everything else, and then a little stuff for Philip and the boys, and then 40% of that commission goes straight to you guys. Simply an introduction. Hey guys.
Well, and listen, I mean, just quick numbers. I mean, our average case size, our average commission up front is $1,500. And so, you know, if you're looking at, hey, what's 40% of 1,500? That's, you know, around $650, $700. If that sounds like something you'd like to make, all you got to do is go to cookdfl.com, send me a lead, set the appointment with me, and just wait for that money to get deposited in your bank account. I'll take care of it for you.
Yeah. So this is stuff, guys. If let's say you meet with a family, and you've helped them with mortgage protection, or maybe you don't. Either way, a few simple questions, or even one, and I'm not going to spoil it. Betsy can go over all this next week. Very simple to position debt-free life, and then Betsy takes it from there, and you just earn passively. So, and especially groups, right? Betsy, love you. Get us some thoughts to whoever may know some groups and things like that, because that can lead to just policy after policy for you. And by the way, guys, that 40% split also counts for production.
Yep.
Right. So
production, promotions, all of it.
Yep. So 1,500, you're probably looking at that more like a $2,500 APV, something like that. I'm rounding up a little bit, but 40% of that figure will be your issued paid production as well for raises and promotions. So, and don't forget, we're on a slingshot bonus promotions right now. If you're brand new, 70%, you only have to do 5,000 in APV. Mo, for you, that's probably one IUL. But 5,000 APV, you're up to 75. 7,500 APV the month after that, you're up to 80% commission. 12,500 after that, you're up to 85% commission level, just like that before conference in Denver. And for those last two promotions, Symmetry will also give you a 10% bonus on your production. So capped at 7,500 for production purposes. So you turn in $10,000 or $12,500 worth of business, or let's say 15,000 for $15,000 worth of business, you get that 85% promotion, and Symmetry is going to give you a bonus check for $1,500. So that's no joke. That's going on until February. And please, 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 if you're not registered, get registered. If you want to get them from me at discount, you can get a ticket for only $160. I'll happily finance it for you. We'll come up with a plan for you that doesn't interfere with your lead budget. And leaders, make it a priority. Get your people registered, please. Right? Welcome to the link. Help them get registered. And if they're absolutely strapped and they need to put it towards leads instead of conference, talk to me. I've got the packs. I'll gladly give them some leeway on that. Okay? Do not let that be a deterring factor. At the same time, Symmetry's breaking the tickets up to $360 payments. Find it in your Hulu, your Netflix, your coffee, your cigarettes, whatever it is.
Sell the stuff you're tired of moving and dusting.
Yes. Yes. Sell that
yes.
too. All right, guys.
Your house will be cleaner.
Exactly. Any other last things, and then I'll let you go.
I think that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark. You're the best.
Thank you.
Hey,
let's go.
Hey, Mark.
Let's go. Let's go.
Hey, Mark.
Everybody can go.
I do have a question about a policy that should take you 30 seconds.
Okay, since this is recording, I'm going to stop this and I'll jump right back on the link.
Okay.
No, wait, I'll stop recording. How about that? Hold on.
There we go.
There we go. See you guys.